And gentlemen, this is part 2 of tonight's live stream. My battery ran out, so sorry about this. This is part 2. This is the second chapter of the Monday, October 3rd live stream for studentloanjustice.org. As I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Party, their fate lies in whether or not they honor their very long-standing commitment to return bankruptcy protections to student loans. Come November 8th, if they fail again, if they squander this truly rare and historic window that they have, control of House, control of Senate, control of presidency, that hasn't happened since 2008. If they screw us, pardon my French, guys, but if they screw us yet again on bankruptcy, I'm certainly not going to vote for any Democrats, and I'm going to urge everybody I know with student loans not to vote for any Democrats. We don't have to put up with this shit, ladies and gentlemen. We are the largest untethered voting bloc in modern American history. There are over 50 million borrowers and cosigners in the country. Federal student loans alone, there's 43 million people. Distressed federal student loan borrowers alone, 38 million people. That's damn near enough to elect a president outright. And at this point, both parties have betrayed us. Well, the Democrats certainly have betrayed us. The Republicans kind of never really liked us in the first place. So, all I'm saying is it would behoove the Democrats to quit screwing around with our bankruptcy bill and get it passed. And that includes the swampy little opposition that we're seeing from the HBCUs for no good reason. Because as I said in the first broadcast, they know that clawback provision will be toothless. And it probably won't even happen. Department of Education never enforces penalties like that against the colleges, even against the lenders. So the Democrats had better sort themselves out and do it quick. And by the way, this is not a partisan issue. We've got a ton of Republican support, certainly for the Senate bill, and we will have Republican support for the House bill as well. People like Matt Gaetz, diehard MAGA Republican, has voiced his support for the return of bankruptcy protection to student loans. I kid you not. Articles in the Federalist, 2 articles in the Federalist in the past 3 weeks have come out calling for the return of bankruptcy protection to student loans. So guys, all the stars are aligning in our favor. And the only thing that's needed at this late date in this congressional session are for Chairman Durbin and Chairman Nadler to ram these bills through, get both bills reconciled. That is, match the language so it's exact, pass both houses, signed by the president. Honestly, if the Democrats know what's good for them, they will get this done before November 8th. If they knew what was good for them, they'd get it done by next week when early voting begins. But there's only so much that we can control, guys. I do know this, guys. This stuff does not happen in a vacuum. This group here, despite our tattered appearance, I know, is way more important than you might think. We would not have this bankruptcy legislation to fight for, but for the people on this group. In fact, we wouldn't even be talking about student loan cancellation by executive order. This thing we just saw Biden do, lame as it is, that wouldn't happen, but for the people on this group. I kid you not. We were the first group to publicly call for student loan cancellation by executive order. But guys, I don't care about loan cancellation, and I hope you don't either. That's done. Biden did what he's going to do, and that's on the shelf. All that matters now is getting our bankruptcy rights back so that any loan cancellation that might happen in the future will actually happen. And remember, guys, January 1st is coming, and by all appearances, they are going to turn the loans back on January 1st. And the collection industry is sharpening their knives. They are drooling. They want nothing more than to see a mass default, and that is going to happen. Almost nobody's going to pay when the loans are turned back on. And the continued absence of bankruptcy rights. That is the wet dream of the collection sharks. So I don't want us to be served up like Elizabeth Warren's words, not mine, turkeys at the Thanksgiving dinner on January 1st, with the constitutionally enshrined threat of bankruptcy still gone from these loans. I don't want that. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't want to face January 1st without at least the floor of fairness, the leverage of bankruptcy in your back pocket. So we've got to fight, guys. This group, as I said, what we do probably will determine whether this legislation passes or not. So the most important action item I have for you today, and I'm going to get to your comments just a minute, guys. I know this is part 2, so I'm kind of waiting for people to find us again. The most important thing that you can do, the best, most effective use of your time is right there. See, our daily action. Do the daily action. Today's daily action, certainly. But honestly, if you've never done a daily action, do the past 2 weeks worth of daily actions. They are oh so important, guys. We have a huge muscle to flex. We have over 1 million people on our group. I kid you not. Between our petition and our Facebook and our Twitter and our email and our other platforms, we've got like 1.2 or 3 million people in our group. Can you imagine if even 10%, 1 out of 10 of the people on our group actually were doing our daily actions? And by the way, these daily actions are very smart. They are very, I humbly think they're pretty smart. We craft them on a daily basis, depending on what's going on, who needs to be pushed, etc. So, as I said, if you want your loans solved, you will take 5 minutes a day, not even that, and do the daily actions every day from here on out. If you've never done daily action, do the past two weeks worth. So, okay, guys, I am dialing in your comments now. I hope everybody had a good weekend. This is the most important week in the history of our group, guys. Can you not tell I'm pretty excited about it? I certainly am. Song I was trying to play earlier, Let the Good Times Roll. We've never been in a better position, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, literally, we've never been in a better position. And remember, when we get the threat of bankruptcy back, everything changes. Quite frankly, I think they're going to have to cancel loans broadly, very broadly, widely, deeply, meaningfully. And it won't be this $10,000 nonsense. It'll be according to people's how badly they've been harmed. You know, we've got people who borrowed $50,000, have repaid $150,000, and owe like $250,000. Quite frankly, those people should be done. They should be done. And that might happen when the floor of fairness, the leverage of bankruptcy is returned. And remember also, guys, we're looking at a massive payment stoppage, like a massive payment stoppage on January 1st. You don't want to be caught in that situation. And my best estimate is that about 80% of all borrowers are not going to resume paying come January 1st. So if that's you, and it probably is, do you want to face that reality with or without the threat of bankruptcy back on your side? Pretty easy question to answer. But I'm stoked, guys. I'm excited, and there's always hurdles to everything. So it just takes work, guys. It takes a little bit of effort from everybody on our group. That's what it is. And you can't unhear that, by the way. And to everybody out there who's been fighting this battle, I commend, applaud, and salute you. And you know that I do. And okay, I'm looking at I'm going to your comments right now. Sorry for the delay on this. Oh, we have a ton of comments here tonight. I hope I can get through them all, but we'll see. Hopefully you saw part 1 where I noted that the historically Black colleges and universities are opposing our bill in the Senate because of a toothless and pretty much feckless and meaningless clawback provision in the legislation from the colleges. So Yeah. Hey, Michael Chain's with us. Vanjie also. Hey, Vanjie is with us. Christina Witten's with us. All these people I just mentioned, they are doing the hard work, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully they will tell you it's cathartic. It feels good to be fighting this fight. Founding fathers are on our side. Hey, Christina says, I think you're talking about that Melissa McBurn. And that's another, I don't even want to spend more than about 8 seconds talking about this, but we found a paid DNC operative going out of her way to throw shade on bankruptcy. This girl, Melissa McBurn, or whatever she calls herself, she's like, oh, bankruptcy hurts people. We don't want bankruptcy. We want loan cancellation. No bank. I'm opposed to bankruptcy. Yeah, that's nonsense. And quite frankly, if the DNC is paying her to oppose bankruptcy, then the DNC has been corrupted. The DNC has it in their own party platform to return bankruptcy protections to student loans. Their backs are against the wall. This is the time for them to do or don't do. They've committed for decades to returning bankruptcy. Right now, they're in a perfect position to do it. And if they don't do it, they're screwing us and they're screwing themselves out of the election in November. So this Melissa McBurn, I don't even want to talk about her anymore. All I can say is she better rethink her position. If bankruptcy harmed people, nobody would file. Bankruptcy is an absolutely essential, constitutionally enshrined freedom that keeps this country free. It keeps lenders honest. It keeps the playing field level. Whether you would ever or never file does not matter. Just having the threat of bankruptcy is what is supremely important and will keep us from being tricked yet again by the swamp, which apparently is now paying Melissa McBurn's bills, which is disgusting. And she lied about it too, by the way. She goes, no, I've never worked for the government. And then somebody looked up DNC expenditures and there she was, $5,000 a month. Anyways, forget about that. She's irrelevant to this discussion. Hey, Vanjie says, so I saw Marsha Blackburn tweeted that masses of bankruptcies would be filed. Marsha Blackburn is a horrible person. Her state, Tennessee, is being absolutely wrecked by student loan debt. If you look at the 10 worst states, Tennessee is on that list. The people of Tennessee owe more than the entire state budget of Tennessee in mostly federal student loan debt. Marsha Blackburn is a sycophant for the federal lending program. And the hypocrisy is astonishing. This woman calls herself a conservative, and yet she fights tooth and nail for the worst big government lending monstrosity this country has ever known. That's not conservative. Marsha Blackburn should be ashamed of herself. And the people of Tennessee, the Republicans, the libertarian, freedom, MAGA, conservative Republicans in Tennessee need to toss that woman out on her behind. She's not conservative. She's not fighting for Tennessee. She's fighting for the colleges and for the federal government. And you can quote me on that. Hey, Doug Grossman's with us tonight. Hey, Doug. Hey, Michael Chaney. Someone is making the bucks money over people. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of hidden things going on in Washington, D.C., the swamp. The lenders are strong. The colleges, the for-profit colleges are strong. But guys, we are way stronger than all of them. We vote. We are the country. They supposedly work for us. Don't forget that, guys. And look how far we've gotten. Just in the past 2 years, we've gone from nowhere. We've gone from schlepping around Iowa, begging presidential candidates to very moderately fight for the return of bankruptcy protections. Well, now not only have we gotten an albeit lame loan cancellation done, which it sucks. I'm not popping any champagne corks. We are on the verge of finally getting bankruptcy returned. And as I said, guys, much depends on how hard we fight, me and you. These are your loans. You can't unhear that. Doug's fighting. I know he is. Joanna Kearns in Florida, she's fighting. I know she is. I've seen her. Michael, Vanjie, all the people that I see here are fighting, and I salute you. And I hope that you will confirm to our audience that it feels good to be fighting this fight. But ladies and gentlemen, if you think you can sit back and eat popcorn and watch other people work, and if you think you're better than us, if you think that you don't need to get your knuckles dirty, you're wrong. And quite frankly, I hope you get off of our group because we don't want you here. You're dead weight. This group here is a working, fighting group, and we're getting results. We know after 18 years, we know how to get student loan justice, and we are knocking on that door. So what you do in the next 2 weeks, in the next month, God forbid what we all collectively do by the end of the year, that is going to tell the story. After the end of the year, we're done. I mean, the window of opportunity is closed. If the Democrats screw us and come November 8th and they get pummeled in the election, then we're going to be back to square one. Everything that we've built up over the past 2 or 4 years is going to be all for naught. So what you do, what you sitting there, what you do matters. It will make all of the difference. And that starts with doing our daily actions. It's the least you could do. But do more than that. Hey, Joanna Kearns in Florida says, hope the hurricane treated you okay there, Joanna. I'm not sure where you live. How dare they treat us like shit? Exactly. How dare they? We're the Americans. We're the American people. We have constitutional rights. If they really think they can conquer and enslave us under the weight of this bullshit, nonsensical national joke of an unconstitutional lending scam, well, I'm here to tell you they have another think coming. This lending system is finished. The pandemic was the nail in the coffin. Student loans are essentially a big national joke at this point. And I don't care what you see in the media. The media is fake. The media is bought and paid for. 90, if not 95% of the media we see on this issue is seeded by our opposition. These little snaky, swampy, sneaky swamp creatures. We don't have to take this bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. They are way more scared of us than we should be of them. Don't forget that. Hey, Gordon says, what song and any idea why both Nadler House page and Judiciary page have no mention of Monday press release? Oh, that's interesting. I haven't looked. I was assured by our contacts on that committee that the press release will be coming out today. I know their communications people were timing it to have maximum effectiveness. So if they decided not to do the press release today, it was probably because there was other stuff going on in the news. I don't know. Hey, I hope your brain surgery went well, by the way, Gordon. Glad that you're able to hang out with us. Gordon had brain surgery a week or 10 days ago. Benign, by the way, so good thing. Michael Cheney says, done. We'll call tonight. Thank you, Michael. And by the way, Michael is a perfect example of people who completely blow all the stereotypes out of the water. People want the public to think that people with student loans are a bunch of blue-haired, 20-something entitled liberals prancing around. That's completely fake and false and bullshit. Most people with student loans are over the age of 35. People over the age of 50 outnumber people under the age of 25 with student loans, and they owe 300% more. The older people owe more than the younger people, despite having borrowed way less many decades ago. People like Dave Ramsey and Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe, would have us believe that we're a bunch of soft-skinned, soft-handed, refuse to do hard work type people. That's bullshit. Michael is a truck driver in Ohio. And there's many people like Michael, a ton of people who went, I'm not sure about where Michael went to college, but People from trade schools, for example, are getting absolutely wrecked by these loans. Veterans, are people fighting, men and women, are being wrecked by these loans. So make no mistake, guys, we are a very accurate and a very appropriate cross section of the American public. We span all races, all creeds, all walks. The only thing that we all are not are wealthy. That's the one thing that I guess that's the one defining characteristic that we share is we are all not wealthy. Some of us may be more well-to-do than others, but wealthy, no. Wealthy people can't get student loans, by the way. And by the way, cancellation of student loans will not benefit the wealthy. And if you doubt this, please look at the actual numbers for yourself. Go to studentloanjustice.medium.com. And I'd say if you want to read the truth, the actual truth about federal and private student loans, read the most recent 5, 6, 7, 8 articles that we published at studentloanjustice.medium.com. Hey, Doug Grossman in Indiana says, many of us are spending so much time trying to get a hold of Mihila to try and fight for our rights to the PSLF waiver to no avail. I'm just going to spend my hours doing the daily actions instead. Well, we have very little confidence in the public service loan forgiveness waiver. The Department of Education has shown time and time again that they have no desire, they have no intentions of actually canceling any loans. Even with this revised PSLF waiver, last I heard, I think Lisa was saying that it's still a 90% rejection rate. Now, with bankruptcy protections returned, with the leverage of bankruptcy returned, that will change. All of a sudden, maybe we'll see 90% of the people actually get public service loan forgiveness rather than 90% being kicked to the curb. There's so many ways that bankruptcy helps us, guys. You have no idea how important it is. And it's if you can't tell, it's tough to fight for. I mean, nobody wants to go out in the street and shake their fist and protest and say, hey, bankruptcy. Nobody wants to do that. That's why this student loan scam is so fucking clever. Pardon my French. It's truly Machiavellian and brilliant. The people who devised, concocted, and executed this scam. Like the last thing a student loan borrower wants to do is say anything publicly. The shame, the humiliation. Debt is a very powerful weapon, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm here to tell you, we've been fighting this for 18 years now, and it feels good to fight. You need to throw your little social nonsense, throw your whatever's holding you back from this fight. You need to throw that to the curb, I should say, because the bad guys, they want you intimidated. They want you cowed. They want you quiet. They want you paying. They want you sitting around, waiting, watching, worrying, wringing your hands. They want you reading Forbes magazine. That's what the bad guys want. Don't give them the fucking pleasure. Pardon my French. Well, good on you, Doug, let me say. And you can both apply for the PSLF waiver and do the daily actions. Like the daily actions only take, like if you have Twitter, if you're good with Twitter, it's like you can do a daily action in like 30 seconds. So Doug says, I say, fuck the trick. They are playing transferring us to Mohila. Mohila, that's the Missouri Higher Education Loan Agency, by the way. It's a state guarantor. They are in the swamp as well. Oh, absolutely they are, Doug. Mohila, there's a whole nasty, vicious swamp network of, by and large, state agencies, state chartered companies like Mohila. They call themselves guarantors, and they are part and parcel of the swamp. These people make the majority of their money in penalties and fees on defaulted student loans. And this rearranging deck chairs that Doug alludes to, where all of the public service people went from Fed loan servicing who got out, they're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We quit. So did Navient, by the way. So they're literally, not literally, but they are rearranging deck chairs. They're shifting everybody's loans to this Mohila company now. And it's the lending system is vanishing into a mist of illegitimacy as we speak, guys. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Everybody's fleeing the sinking ship in Washington, D.C. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's one big clusterfuck. Pardon my French. Pardon Doug's French as well. We don't have to put up with this, guys. We're stronger than that. Hey, Terry Dawes with us tonight. Hey, Terry, what's up, man? Good evening, everyone. And I agree with Alan because it's going to come to that point where they're going to have to wipe out all of the loans. I don't see no other way around this. Neither do I, Terry. Come on now. $1.6 trillion. Come on now. That's ridiculous. And just look at your own loan balance. I don't know what Terry's are exactly, but if Terry's like most people on our group, it's like, I borrowed this much. I owe like this much. It's just nonsense, guys. It's monopoly money. They're going to have, the loans will be canceled. Make no mistake. The loans will not be paid by and large. The loans will overwhelmingly not be paid. They will be canceled. The only question is if we get these loans canceled in a clean, quick way that benefits the economy and gives us our lives back, or whether it's going to be a years or decades long dystopian nightmare for us where, yeah, the loans will get canceled, but more than likely it's through our own death. Like, do we want that? Do you want to live the rest of your life under the weight of this nonsensical, ridiculous, unconstitutional, predatory loan scam? No, you don't. Of course you don't. And you shouldn't have to. And nobody should have to. In my humble opinion, nobody should ever pay another dollar back on their federal, certainly on their federal student loans. Never, ever. Don't feed the beast. The founding fathers are on our side. I think they're looking down saying, how did our people get so weak? Why would they pay another nickel into this government lending scam? You know, if the founding fathers were here today, they'd probably tell us to take our loans, burn them, take the ashes to the harbor, and throw them in the drink. We do not have to put up with this shit, ladies and gentlemen. Spread the word about this group, by the way. We are the only group in existence actually fighting for the solution to this problem. The other groups are completely silent on the bankruptcy issue. Shame on them for that. Shame on these people like Melissa McBurn, these hired guns. And if the DNC is directing Melissa to oppose bankruptcy rights, then we need to come after the DNC and spread the word that the DNC has been corrupted. Spread the word about this group, guys. This is truly grassroots here, as you can tell. This is what changes the world. You are here. You are a pioneer, and you can't unhear that. We are the pioneers, guys. We are the tip of the spear. In fact, we are the spear. We are the eye of the storm. In fact, we are the storm. And you should be proud to be fighting this battle. That's about all I can say on that. Guys, we have a ton more comments. I'm so sorry that I can't get through all of them. So I'm going to leave it there at that, guys. I've gone on way too long tonight. If you're counting on getting your loans canceled by the government, as long as bankruptcy rights are gone, it's probably not going to happen. Many years have informed that expert opinion that I just gave there. As long as bankruptcy remains gone, guys, we're going to be screwed. Don't trust the government. Maybe you can trust every other branch of the government, the military, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Homeland Security, Department of State. Maybe all those other agencies are doing a great job. Department of Education is captured and corrupted. They cannot be trusted. Anything they say cannot be believed because history shows they lie. Or they say they will do something and they never do it. So you're in the right place, guys. We know the path forward. Spread the word about this group. Get ready. Do our daily actions is the most important thing. And I'm sorry to be yelling, but if you can't tell, this is the most important week in the history of our 17-and-a-half-year-old group here. So let's get this done, shall we? Much depends on whether and how hard you fight. And do more than our daily actions. Do much more. You're clever. You're creative. You can figure something out to help us. Get the media to report on us. Get your local newspaper, radio station, television station to contact us. 202-594-1120 is our phone number. We can hook them up with borrowers anywhere in the country, wherever you may be. We have borrowers in your neighborhood willing to be interviewed to put a face to this problem. Tell your local or even national or any news to contact us. We stand at the ready to do interviews with any and all. We've been on Fox News. We've been on 60 Minutes. We've been in the New York Times. We've books. We've written articles. We are very well versed in this topic, and we're very happy to talk to any and all media. When you make that happen, it will happen. If you set them up, we will very happily knock them down for you. So let's get this done, guys. The clock is ticking. I'll see you on Wednesday. Ed, our fearless co-leader, will be with you tomorrow. Good luck doing our daily actions. Good luck with all that other stuff I said. Make something happen. We need you. Good luck. Godspeed. God bless everyone.